Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining this session. Like the chairman said, I'm Thomas Umschlag. I'm head of sales and responsible for all thin film related activities within the Manz organization. Today, I would like to give you a quick update about our activities concerning CIGS fabs, and the talk or the topic of the talk has changed a little bit. From the story to success, I would like to rename the session to Choice Investment in Green Solution. Why? I will explain later on. Before I'm going into details concerning the CIGS fab concept, I would like to give you, for each of you who does not know who Manz is, a quick introduction about Manz as a company. After that, I will provide you a couple of information what the Manz CIGS technology stands for. I will give you some information concerning why we know and why we think CIGS is the only technology for future, how does it compare to crystalline silicon application, and what could be the market potential here. After that, and this is clearly one of the key messages I would like to provide to you, is what differentiates Manz against any other turnkey provider of a thin film or a solar fabrication line, and I would like to give you kind of an insight concerning the Manz innovation line here in Schwäbisch Hall. I would discuss a bit concerning layouts, efficiency improvements, and all the things where we are faced with during these days, during the trade show, and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, I will give you a quick summary and quick outlook, and I would like to invite you, of course, to join our booth to continue our discussion, which will probably not be ended by this talk here. Looking back to Manz as a company, I think one key message is, and this is why we are doing fairly well also during these days, is that the entire Manz portfolio is based on a kind of a specific, let's say, technology platform, which you could see here on this particular slide. Laser funktioniert dort. So if you look here, the inner circle tells you what is the Manz core competences. The Manz core competences are focused on automation solution, metrology solution, laser processes, vacuum equipment, wet chemistry, but also not really focused on thin film application, but printing technologies as well. Those technologies, they all can be used in various business fields, such as solar, of course, but also in display application, battery business, and we call it other application. And this is what we do with a global footprint. So we're not only focused here in Germany, we are doing these things worldwide. What is the benefit? For you as a customer, the benefit is that innovations coming from the technology from display, like automation solutions, handling solutions, they can be easily transferred to solar application, for instance. So gently handling of substrates can be one of our core competences. In return, if the business suffers a little bit for one business field, for us as a company, it's quite good to compensate it by other businesses here. Looking back to the history of Manz, and I'm just proud to highlight here that Manz has celebrated its 25th anniversary this year. We started in '87, last century already. We started as a pure automation company, and during the couple of years, we increased our product portfolio from being a pure automation provider to, let's say, a well-known and established manufacturer of all kind of equipment for automation solution, but then also for wet chemistry approaches. And over the last couple of years, we also have established a vacuum technology in Karlstein, very close to Frankfurt, that comes back in the year 2010 with a main focus to establish and fulfill and complete our, let's say, scope of supply to address the majority of, let's say, the value chain, the value-added chain in production lines. In the year 2012, it was in the press already, we acquired the World Solar Innovation or production line for CIGS modules. What we did there is we reduced the throughput of this line down to around about 6 megawatts. So from a pure production line, we entered into a kind of an innovation line, which we simply use to improve processes, to optimize processes, all with the main focus of providing a full satisfactory CIGS turnkey line to our valued customers. But not only taking over the line in Schwäbisch Hall was key to our success here, and it was more focused on now owning the IP, having the entire, let's say, brain power inside the company, would help us to improve individual processes within the entire value-added chain and production chain of CIGS modules. So with the acquisition of World Solar in the beginning of this year, 120 employees were taken over from World Solar, and they now belong to the Manz team, having a strong, powerful resource for developments and improvements in the CIGS technology. During the last couple of days, but also before that, we were always asked, why do you still believe in thin film? there must be a good reason for it, and this slide shows you a couple of good reasons for believing in thin film, and specifically why do we believe in why do we believe in CIGS technologies? If you look to the global footprint, still the PV market is somewhat dominated by consumers here in Germany and Italy, where the climate is rather cold, scattered light, and so on and so forth. However, looking back to market demands and also developments over the last couple of months and years, the business is showing a significant trend going over to hotter climates, warmer climates, where a lot of light is, scattered light is, but also a lot of dust. And that's where thin film is getting more and more important, and especially the CIGS module is becoming more and more attractive. Beside this, the production cost of CIGS compared to other crystalline application is getting beneficial towards the return on invest as well. Another reason why thin film, and in particular CIGS, is of advantage compared to crystalline silicon application is shown on this particular slide. This is a kind of a snapshot of how the crystalline module could look like, and what you can see here, that in principle the structure itself, comparing a crystalline module to a thin film module, is fairly comparable. However, if you count the number of different technologies and processes and layers, you will notice that there is only, in principle, 4 layers for the thin film module available, which tells you that the value chain, the supply chain, is much shorter, and probably also the return on invest because of the individual processes steps. The big difference between the crystalline module and the thin film module comes down to the layers. Yeah. So you have the absorber here and the absorber there. The rest is, I wouldn't say me too, but it's coming very close to it. So at the end of the day, to manufacture a reliable and field-proven product for CIGS, for instance, you just need 3 materials: glass, plastic, and the absorber material. That's it. So if you now start to compare crystalline modules with CIGS modules, then there are a couple of advantages for CIGS, and they are highlighted here on the particular slide now. We talk about the light scattering effects. So crystalline or CIGS modules are having a better performance with diffuse light, shading, and other, let's say, indirect sunlights. They are well prepared also for hotter climates. Light absorption is fairly good. And just as a kind of a sentence which I'm always keeping in mind talking about CIGS is, a CIGS module simply gets up early in the morning and goes later to bed compared to any other PV technology. So from the, let's say, sunlight utilization, there's nothing better than CIGS. In addition to that, there are another couple of features which are, let's say, in favor of CIGS or thin film technologies. This is substrate size and, for instance, and mainly the energy payback time. If you compare the energy payback time of a CIGS modules, we are talking about 10 to something like 14 months. It depends on the location where you are mounting the system, of course. On the crystalline level, you are much longer than that. So that helps you a lot, let's say, to find good reasons why to look closer and why to invest into CIGS. What does it mean for the Manz CIGS fab? At the end of the day, Manz is a provider of a solution where a customer brings glass into the production line, and at the end of the day, he gets modules out of the production line. I can quickly guide you to the material flow of this particular line. So here's the glass entry with some glass cleaning, the coating of the moly back contact. Then the number 3 shows you a big automation corridor where glass is stored and transported to the different processes steps. Then we have a couple of laser processes, the deposition of the absorber layer, which we do with the co-evaporation tools. Some additional steps, coating of the front contact with the transparent conductive oxides, laser processes here, and then the substrate gets married with the front glass, of course, and goes into the lamination, and then in the module sorting. For our customers, they will not care on the individual processes. For them, it counts that there's modules coming in and modules, ready assembled modules coming out. One additional benefit of this kind of a concept is that you're having a possibility to scale this fabrication line from 100 megawatt up to a large scale like 500 megawatts. Why these numbers? We did some calculation. We believe that this is some key numbers at which point, let's say, the throughput and the size of the fab is feasible. In order to not leave our customers alone, we are doing, and that's the benefit of having this innovation line, we are doing our individual continuous efficiency improvement roadmaps, and that has been already announced a couple of weeks ago when Manz announced that we were able to reach another world record on the module level of 14.6%. In other words, what we are showing here on the module efficiency roadmap, it's not only talking, it's really doing. You know. All the facts and figures that we have defined already years back, 2 years back, 1 year back, they became true. So it's really a potential how to get the CIGS module closer and closer in terms of efficiency to the still existing gap to crystalline solar cells. So, and if somebody would buy this facility and this fabrication line at this point in time, he will see that there is still continuous improvement potential available in order to improve the throughput and also the efficiency of modules. However, this kind of efficiency increase only makes sense if you are also able to reduce the cost figures of your facility. You know, every efficiency improvement can be as nice as possible. However, if you increase cost, you are winning nothing. In other words, besides having an efficiency improvement roadmap, we are also looking into cost reduction activities here. And this is also what you could see here. So we started pretty much 1.5 to 2 years ago when we looked into the, let's call it, baseline of the world solar fabrication line, and we identified very highlighted levels of where we could save money, where we could potentially optimize processes, and where we can bring material costs down. And this is shown here. So there are a couple of measures taken already, and this is shown in the axis right over here. So when we talk about Innoline 2012, these are things that has been done already. The further you get right to this slide, the more things are ongoing and already going to be implemented into the facility, but also in the 6th fab, which I've presented on the previous slide. At the end of the day, for our customer, it counts that modules are coming out of the fabrication line. This design is our, let's say, standard design, which comes out of the fabrication line due to the, let's say, predicted predominant demand from our customers for field-based installation, but also so facade integration, etc., etc. Once again, the data we've provided already 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago in press releases showing an efficiency of 14.6%. These were not only data that was already confirmed by a third-party institute, it was the TÜV Rheinland here, showing that the module efficiency of 14.6% is real and reproducible. This is fairly shown on this particular slide here. During the entire process of bringing a customer to production, we join him on his journey to be successful in the thin film in the solar world. So we start ideally with an order, and then we bring the customer with a very quick ramp-up time from the initial PO to ready for production. One beneficial thing of having this innovation line in Schwäbisch Hall simply is that during this time we are already able to provide modules to tease his market. So besides ramping up a facility, this customer can already start installing modules with the same technology, the same TÜV certificate, and all the other things, and that helps him to shorten his time, his return on invest as well. So this is just a quick idea about, let's say, the project schedule, how it could look like, and this is what we are committed to. We are committed to our customers' success, and that's the reason why, with the efficiency roadmap, with the cost down roadmap, but also with the entire project planning during the project phases, we join our customer there. In summary, we talked about cost measures, we talked about technology, and for those things, we have a clear roadmap. We are clearly committed to help our customers with the measures which are highlighted here, which are shown already in my presentation. Not to forget, by the way, it's not only Manz doing this, we have a strong R&D partner. With the ZSW in Stuttgart, we always have the kind of a base R&D technology, which is helping us to improve the technology and the performance. So this is a clear message to our customers, to you. We don't leave our customers alone with the developments here. That's it from my side so far. I'd like to thank you for your attention. If there's any additional question, I'm here and I'm on this booth as well.